let's start out by going out to Newburgh, New York, where the Weather Channel's Mike Seidel has been reporting for us. And Mike, we've been watching this rain spiraling around the low from Henri.
Yes, indeed. We've had rain here, but we haven't had the wind. We've been fortunate here in upstate New York. We're about an hour or so north of New York City that we haven't had the wind. 15-mile-an-hour gusts, that's it. You can see behind me there's not a lot of action in the trees. There's a little movement there, but certainly not enough to really cause a lot of power outages. In fact, here in New York State, the lower Hudson Valley is where they are, and so far about 6,500. That's currently on the docket. Meanwhile, next door in Connecticut, they're down just under 20,000, so those numbers are coming down. I want to show you what my drive was like. This is Vernon, Connecticut. This is a town off I-84, off to the north and east of Hartford, and you can see how hard it was raining. The wind was blowing at 30 to 35 miles an hour, but the rainfall rates at 1 to 2 inches an hour, a lot of ponding on the highways and on the interstate. And I'm driving down the interstate, and all of a sudden this car, hydroplane, flips and slides off to the side of the road, and look at that vehicle. And I saw a lot of accidents, a lot of people driving too fast for the conditions. When it's pouring rain and the speed limit 65, I saw cars doing at least 70 or 75 miles an hour. Fortunately, a happy ending for the driver of this car. He got out without a scratch. He was wearing his seatbelt. So the key there, wear your seatbelt and, slow down when you've got all that standing water on the highways. It doesn't matter if you have all-wheel drive. Now, Sarah Dillingham, let's go to the radar, and you can see the rain where we're standing in Newburgh up to Albany, up and down the Hudson Valley. Now, we do have a reissue of that flash flood warning that included North Jersey, Bergen County, the Passaic County area, West Milford, up there in the hills there as you get out towards Vernon, New Jersey, and then down through Rockland County, Passaic, and also into Manhattan and the Bronx, so 2 boroughs in New York City. That warning has now been extended until 11:45. Some of these areas have had over 4 inches of rain. Get this, New York City now has had over 3 inches of rain today, a record for today. Yesterday, when the concert last night got rained out with the lightning and thunder, that moisture getting sucked in from Henri off the coast, they had 4.5. So right now, they're just over 7 inches of rain in Central Park in 2 days. This is their wettest 2 days in August on record, and their records go back to the late 1800s. Puts it all in perspective. So we've got the flood watches up overnight through Monday at 8 p.m. That includes Hartford, Connecticut, Waterbury, Newburgh, Albany, New York City, and then over into North Jersey, the Poconos. All these areas are prone to flash flooding, and we can see it pinwheeling on the radar around the center of Henri, which is now not far from Hartford, and it's not moving very fast. We can only hope that the heavy rain kind of swings down away from where it's been pummeling those areas in northern New Jersey. But it's going to be tomorrow afternoon before we get to push this out and we start to dry out in these areas, but then we run the risk of the rain picking up again around the Boston area, Mark, where they haven't had much rain. I can tell you out on the Cape this morning, we had one shower, and that was about it. It's all been on the north and west and south side of the storm as it came in.
Yeah, a very classic mode for that to occur, Mike.